My favorite moment to date in my job came when I heard a woman exclaim from the change room, "Oh my God, I look great even to myself in this." Now this is a standout moment for me because unfortunately it's the opposite from what I normally hear women exclaim from the change room. Now I know your self-esteem shouldn't be entirely tied to the way that you look, but you do need to accept who you are to feel happy with yourself, and that includes your appearance. Unfortunately, most women don't feel okay with this, and who can blame us? It's estimated that we're exposed to media for over half our waking hours, and the messages that we're given during this time aren't great. We're made to feel that if we could just lose a few more pounds, happiness would be ours. And these messages are so powerful that after reading a fashion magazine for only 3 minutes, 48% of women wish they were as thin as the women in the magazine. Now that's really scary because there are a lot of women who have very limiting beliefs about themselves associated with their weight. And we're not only getting these negative messages from the media, we're getting them from each other. The words that are going to be written on these women, they're words that we use to describe, judge, and stereotype each other with. And some of you might have already judged me. You might be thinking, what could I possibly know about a low body image? Well, I've struggled with it, like many of you probably have. And you might look at me and think that that's ridiculous. But I look at you, and I think the same thing. The issue is about feeling okay with what you see when you look in that mirror. And I think that's something we can agree that all women can relate to. So instead of judging who we think should be allowed to feel this way, we need to start learning to love ourselves. I can tell you till I'm blue in the face that I think you are literally perfect the way you are. But until you believe that, it doesn't matter. And it will get easier to believe once we fix our distorted image of what beauty is. And that can start when we employ some media literacy. You need to know that literally every image you see in a magazine or in advertising has been heavily photoshopped. This makes the unrealistic bodies that we've been shown virtually unattainable to us. So instead of trying to be something that we're not or that we can't be, we need to actually celebrate the diversity of women's bodies and not just pretend to. The top image is doing what fashion and beauty do best. They're playing on women's insecurities, and women are buying it. Women are internalizing these images, and they're starting to fat talk. Fat talk is when women say something like, "I feel disgusting with my body today," or "that girl should not be wearing that skirt." These thoughts and comments are damaging not only to yourself, but to others. How are we teaching our young children to perceive their bodies? What are we teaching them? To be a slave to the number on the scale? And that number, it is so irrelevant that these women have very different body shapes, and they all weigh the exact same thing, every single one of them. That's why we need to abandon all numbers, all sizes. We need to instead embrace our shape. And a great example of this is skinny jeans. I hear so many women lamenting that they can't wear skinny jeans, yet these same women look fantastic in a pair of bootcut or straight leg jeans. But sometimes these women will see a pair of skinny jeans and they'll try them on and they feel terrible all over again. Now, I don't know if you realize this, but that's the actual definition of insanity. They're doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. The only thing that's changing is that they now start to feel that nothing looks good on them. Now, I'm not suggesting that pants are now optional. We do need to shop, and I'm not saying we need to stop shopping. But we need some tips to learn how to make these negative experiences in change rooms go away. So first, an open neckline. That's great for elongating your neck, breaking up wide shoulders. A long neckline looks great on everybody. You want to stay away from a higher crew neck that very few women look their best in. The next is a hemline on your shirt or a tunic. If you want to add width to your bottom half, something straight across is fantastic at that. However, if this is your widest part, you don't want to draw a line on your widest part straight across. You're going to want something that's rounded. The next is sleeves. Our forearms are our smallest part, so if we show them, it prevents us from looking bigger than we actually are, especially in like a looser fitting top. So you're going to want something that's tight, or you're going to want something that's a 3/4 length sleeve. And my last tip is a great belt. Despite what some of you are thinking, you all actually have a waist, and you look your best when you at least allude to this fact. So, if you are a curvier girl, a thinner belt is going to do a great job of showing that off, or if you're more straight up and down, a wide belt is best for you. Using these tips to limit the number of negative thoughts you have is a great way to change the way that you view your body and stop the fat talk. Experts agree that the #1 way to increase your self-confidence is to first, stop criticizing yourself, and second, stop criticizing others, meaning that even the smallest negative comment about our bodies is detrimental to our outlook on them. So I challenge you, stop the fat talk and turn it to awesome talk.